Hi guys, it's Stuart from Riders Cycle Centre and welcome to the latest Riders Rollers training session. And to those watching on Facebook, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Bear with us for a few minutes and I'll explain a little bit about Riders Rollers. But for those of you who are tuning in for the workout, get yourself ready, okay? But we're just going to have a quick chat to let everybody know who are watching on Facebook a little bit about Riders Rollers. So Riders Rollers, it's our newly formed Facebook group. Okay, so if you haven't joined us, please search for Riders Rollers and join our Facebook group. Now we have a YouTube channel called Riders Cycle Centre. That's my little business here. We are a dedicated cycle repair shop. Riders Cycle Centre on YouTube. Please subscribe to our site. And on that site you will see some of our online roller training sessions. And we've recorded a few so far, all ranging in different levels of intensity, duration. But yeah, what you can do is you can get yourself on your rollers with your cadence sensor and your Garmin and Wahoo, and then with your laptop, your iPhone or your pad in front of you, you can press play and you can train along to the instructions as you can see here on the screen. Okay, so rollers have been around an awful long time. All you keen cyclists out there, you'll know all about rollers. Very popular with the track scene, very popular with junior riders. There's a great deal of benefit from riding on rollers. Now please forget about the old wives' tale of, oh, I crash all the time. No, honestly, if you're a regular rider on bikes, you will, within minutes, you can find your balance point and you can confidently ride on rollers. But of course, you've got to learn how to ride them. So once you've got out of the way, hey, the benefits of roller training and roller riding is incredible. It's great for the young kids because it teaches them all bike control. And of course, because they're rollers, you have minimal resistance on the pedals. So it's really good for young riders to learn those basic skills. It's also good for all beginners because it's very cheap. Rollers are a lot cheaper than a turbo. You don't need any kind of specific rear wheel or rear tire. You can just use your road bike. Okay, and rollers are affordable, and just with a speed sensor paired up to your Garmin, you can see your RPMs on your computer screen. Okay, and some of the physical benefits are incredible. It's core stability, having to really concentrate on your core to control your leg speed and your RPMs. And riding at RPMs is very efficient, okay, but do you have the muscle strength to handle those RPMs? So training those legs to ride at very high RPMs is something you can benefit from once you get out onto the road. And also for you experienced riders out there, spending a lot of time on the road or indoors on turbos, you can start to adopt quite an inefficient pedal technique. Now if you carry that across to rollers, you'll find yourself very uneasy on rollers, bouncing up and down or swaying from side to side. And you really have to concentrate on your pedal technique and efficiency to stay nice and smooth on rollers. And again, when you take that back onto the road, you really will feel those benefits in your riding. So rollers, yeah, fantastic bits of kit. If you like any information, do please get in touch, but pop into your local bicycle shop. They'll be able to help you out and let you know all about rollers. Okay, I said you do need a speed or a cadence sensor. That is the most important thing, because with rollers we record our workouts to RPMs, revolutions per minute. Okay, and that fluctuates up and down depending on the program that you're doing. So please, if you haven't done so already, go across to Riders Centre, our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. It's a newly formed site. We're really trying to push it out there to gain a little bit of momentum. So the more subscribers we get, the better chance we have of getting these videos out there to people who might find them beneficial. Okay. And again, if you haven't done already, just go to Riders Rollers on Facebook. It's a Facebook group, and do join. And of course, we'll be posting videos on there and lots of information about rollers. Okay. I think that's about it. If you've got any questions, please do leave a comment. But without further ado, for those of you who have tuned in, thanks for hanging on. We're going to crack on with our session. It's high cadence and high power. I hope you've read the description below, so you've got a rough idea what to expect. And obviously we're now going to do a 12-minute warm-up, and I'll be talking to you in a little bit more detail about tonight's session. So let's crack on. Let's press play. And the countdown begins. Right, so I hope you guys have started to have mastered the art of getting on the rollers without leaning on anything. So I've got one foot on the ground, one clipped in. I've got the foot in the 3 o'clock position. I'm going to give one quick pedal stroke and get onto the bike. So there we go, one downward pedal stroke And we're on. Good stuff. Okay. So we've got a 12-minute warm-up. So a bit of longer warm-up than some of the previous sessions we've done before, only because the actual workout phase of the session is going to be quite high intensity. So I want to give enough time to get those legs warmed up, get the heart rate up. So make your way up to 90 RPM. Again, in a nice comfortable gear with minimal resistance, okay? Good stuff. Right, so we've got 12 minutes warm up. And after those 12 minutes, we are going to do a high cadence set. Now, that is going to be a 2-minute duration at 110 RPM. But in a gear selection, that's going to give minimal resistance on the pedals, okay? So you'll be pedaling nice and fast with minimal resistance on the pedals. Now, as you regulars will know, if you're in an easier gear, your wheel speed will slow down, which means you have to concentrate even more on balancing and staying in the center of your rollers. Now, after those 2 minutes, we'll be doing a 5-minute set, still at 110 RPM, but shifting down to a fast speed, a fast gear. What that's going to do, that's going to increase the speed of the wheel. In fact, you'll see your speedo go up. It's going to make it slightly easier to stay central on the rollers, but you'll feel more resistance on the pedals. And that's going to work on a bit of power. That's going to be 5 minutes, 110 RPM in a slightly harder gear, okay? Once we've done those 5 minutes, we'll have a 1-minute rest at an RPM of your choice, and then we're going to repeat that 4 times. We'll then do a warm down for 10 minutes, again at your own speed, your own RPM. Okay guys, hope you've got that. Don't worry, I'll be giving you lots of instructions and letting you know way before when to change, so keep listening. Good, so 90 RPM, we've got just under 9 minutes to go. Excellent. Now we're in France today on Zwift, so again something for me to look at, something you look at, and again you can see some data about myself. You can see my RPMs in the top left hand corner, you can see my heart rate, and of course we have our little white box over there with all the instructions. Excellent. Good stuff. Right, I hope you've got your bottle of water at hand. You might get a bit thirsty on this one. Thankfully I've got a fan on today. The last session I sweated quite a bit. That was a tough one. That was our basic leg speed session. Yeah, we got a few messages about that one. Mainly there was nothing basic about it. Well, it was a hard session, but basic as in it didn't require an awful lot of fiddling around with gears. Yeah, it wasn't a technical session. Okay. Alright, so just under 7.5 minutes to go. Have you got some music on, guys? You listening to anything in the background? It's quiet in the workshop. All I've got is the fan on and that's it. No music playing, I'm afraid. I get into trouble when I put music on because the old YouTube algorithms kick in, and it sends me a warning about copyright. So no, there's no music for me. I would put my earphones in, but no, I think I need to concentrate. Okay, let's go. That's doing well, everybody. Just 6 minutes to go. Okay, in about a minute's time, 60 seconds, we're going to do a little bit of a sprint. Okay, guys? We're just going to do a quick 20-second sprint, all right? So when we reach 5 minutes, I want you to do a 20-second sprint, nice and fast. All right? Now let's see if you can do it in the drops, okay? So not yet, but when I say, I want you to very carefully put your hands down onto the drops and do your 20-second with your hands on the drops. Okay, let's drop down. There we go. Head up and start the 20-second sprint in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Excellent. Keep it going. 3, 2, 1. And move back up to the tops. Good. Well done. Back to 90 RPM. Lovely. Good. Okay. When it reaches 4 minutes, we're going to do a second quick 20-second sprint. So gently go down onto the drops. 20 seconds. Off you go. Increase those RPMs. Good. 10 more seconds to go. And back to 90. Back onto the tops. Good. Whew. Okay, when we get to 3 minutes, we'll do the last little sprint for 20 seconds, okay? Okay, 10 seconds to go. Get yourself down onto the drops, guys. 3, 2, 1, and increase those RPMs. Good. Keep it going, 10 more seconds. Nice and fast. And ease back down to 90 RPM. Good. Hands back on the tops. Lovely. Okay, we've got 2.5 minutes to go before we start our first cycle. Okay, so it's going to be 110 RPM for 2 minutes in a gear, in an RPM and a gear selection that you're comfortable with. Okay, so I want minimal resistance, so I'm probably 3 or 4 cogs down from the bottom, okay? Oh, up from the bottom, sorry. All right, so what that's going to give me is minimal resistance against the pedals. Okay, so I can turn the gear comfortably, but obviously I have to go at a high RPM. Now after those 2 minutes, I want you to shift the chain down the cassette, okay, down to one of the really small cogs at the back. Now what that's going to do is that's going to add a bit more resistance to the pedal rotation, okay? You're going to stay at 110 RPM for 5 minutes at that really hard gear, okay? That's where the power part comes in, okay? Hope you got that. All right, but don't worry. Listen up. I'll give you lots of instructions. Right. Just over a minute to go. So, I'm on my 50 tooth at the front, and I'm probably on the I'm on the 5th cog from the bottom. Now, for me, that's a bit too easy, so I'm going to shift down one, down to the next smallest sprocket. There we go. Now, it's still nice and easy for me to pedal, it's just that I feel more comfortable in this gear. I'm going to hold that for 2 minutes at 110 RPM. But when I do the 5-minute session, I'm going to shift it all the way down to the bottom cog and see what that feels like for 5 minutes. You got that? Okay. So, this is going to be a tough little session, but also it's a little bit more technical as well. Good. Okay guys, so 15 seconds to go. Okay, let's start making way up to 110 RPM and off we go for 2 minutes. Okay, there we are, 110 RPM. Good, keep it going. Lovely. So, I'm in a gear that I can turn freely, okay? There's minimal resistance on the legs, so I'm purely concentrating on my pedal technique. High cadence, high RPM. Okay, good. Just under a minute to go, guys. Lovely. Keep it going. Okay, 30 seconds to go, and I'm going to shift down a couple of gears. Shift down, that's going to increase my speed, but just add a bit more resistance to the pedals. And I want to try and keep to 110. Okay, in 5 seconds, 3, 2, 1, shift down. Okay, oh, yeah. Okay, so try and get to 110. Got to hold this for 5 minutes. There we are. Yep, that's tough. I can feel it already. Good. Keep it going, guys. Keep it up. Oh, I can't talk too much on this one. Heart rate's up. Good. That's a tough one, guys. Keep it up. Halfway. Well done. Thirty seconds to go. Wow, this is hard. Okay, 1 minute rest. Nice easy gear, sort yourselves out. Okay, that was a good one. Okay, 30 seconds to go. Good stuff. Right, cycle number 1 gone. Got 3 more to do. How'd that feel? Okay. Now I'm struggling to keep 110, but I tried to keep as close as I could to it. Let's see if it's any easier to keep to 110 in the second cycle. See if the legs are getting warmed up. Okay, off we go. Again, choosing a gear with minimal resistance, 110 RPM. Just concentrate on high cadence, minimal resistance on the gears. Well done, everybody. Keep it going. Good. 1 minute to go. Oh, I wish I had a sweat cloth. Sweating a lot today. Okay, so let's get ready to change down a few gears, staying at the same RPM, but now by shifting down a couple of gears, you'll be increasing the resistance on the pedals, making it slightly harder to stay at 110 RPM. Okay. Start shifting down a few gears and off we go, 5 minutes. Good. Now, as you would have noticed, guys, I'm just a little bit quieter on these hard sessions. I'm watching my cadence meter, my RPMs, and I'm trying to stay as close as I can to 110. And I really want to try and keep my form. Good. It looks like my sweet spot is around 108. Any faster and I start to lose my technique, so I'm going to hold it there. Well done, guys, keep it going. So, if any of you on Facebook are still watching, okay, this is on rollers. All on rollers. I've got high RPMs, high heart rate, I'm having a good CV workout, and my legs are spinning at very fast RPMs. I'm working my core muscles, I'm having to concentrate really hard on my pedal technique to stay on the rollers in the sweet spot. Good. Okay guys, 30 seconds to go and then a minute rest. I'm going to have to grab a towel. There you go. Perfect preparation. Prevents poor performance. I forgot my towel. Keep cracking on, guys. Right, minute rest. Shift up the gears. Keep going, guys. I'm going to grab the towel. Whew. Nothing like a bit of sweat running into your eyes. Okay, 30 seconds to go. Good. Steady on. Okay. Right, 1 minute rest all gone. Okay guys, up to 110 RPM in a nice easy gear. We're now starting our third cycle. Good. So high cadence, minimal resistance on the pedals. 2 minutes. Lovely. Okay. Oh, needed a minute to get myself ready. Okay, guys. 10 seconds to go, and then we got our 110 RPM in a harder gear. So I'm going to shift down a couple. 110. Good. Off we go. Good stuff, everybody. Keep it going. Excellent work. How's it going, guys and girls? Are you working hard? Gritting teeth? Pushing through the pain barrier? all on a set of rollers. The heart rate's up to its max. Halfway. Well done, guys. Keep it going. I'm sorry I'm not so chatty on this one. It's hard work. 1.5 minutes to go. "60 seconds. Ten to go. And back it off. 60-second rest. Heart rate's up to the high 170s. Yeah, that was hard work. Right, let's grab some water. Okay, last cycle to go. 2 minutes, 110 RPM in an easier gear. Good. Last 7 minutes of exercise, guys. Well done for hanging in this long. Hope you've done better than I have. Got to say, in the first 2 cycles Just finding it a bit hard to stay at 110, but trying as hard as I could, but still keeping my form and my pedal technique. I think that's so important, to keep your technique. I don't want to go all ragged and out of control. Good. Because it's physically hard. Physically hard. Well done. And that's that high power. I know the wattage on the Zwift here is part of a Zwift algorithm. It's Zwift power. So they're estimating my wattage. But even so, to go at those speeds, I have to push out a certain amount of watts, and boy, can I feel it in my thighs. Good. Okay, last 5 minutes to go. 30 seconds to the last 5 minutes. Got to say, the fan is having no effect on my body temperature. Good. Still feeling okay though. I had something to eat an hour before, so I'm fueled. Okay, let's go. Down a couple of gears, up to 110. Good. Right, I'm watching my RPMs, keeping my pedal technique and form. Good. Now we're pushing a bigger gear. I can really feel it in my thighs. Okay, I'm just starting to bounce around a bit, so I've got to try and stay relaxed. Heart rate is really high now. Getting a good workout. Two and a half minutes to go. Woo! Come on. Come on, rider. Good stuff. Oh, it's burning now. That is burning. 2 minutes to go. Keep up the effort, guys. You can rest when it's over. That's it. Concentrate hard on your pedal technique. Just think how great you are. Okay, guys and girls, last 60 seconds, last 60 of a really good workout. Whoa. Right to the end. "30 seconds. Whoa. That's 10. And cool down. At your own speed, guys and girls. At your own speed. Whoa. Get that heart rate down and relax. Oh, do you know what? I need one of those kind of intermissions now. And here's a word from our sponsor. And I cut and I collapse on the floor, come back and I'm okay. But I'm not. Well, that was really good. How did you find that, guys? Give yourself a mark out of 1 out of 10. Yeah, what do you think? What do you think? Okay, let's get my RPMs up so I can be easier to balance on the rollers. So let's just, about 80 RPM, guys, and chill. So how was that? Yeah, marks out of 10, eh? Let's kind of review your workout. How did it go? All right, it's 4 cycles, sorry. Okay, this is quite a long one. Okay, we had 28 minutes of 110 RPM. That's a long time. How do you feel? How was your pedal technique throughout the session? Did you struggle to stay at 110 like me for the first few sets? Hey, well that's interesting because I did for the first 2 cycles, sorry not sets, cycles, I just found it difficult to stay at 110 RPM. But come the 3rd cycle and the 4th, I found it a little bit easier. So maybe just working a bit harder on the warm-up or a slightly longer warm-up, but I'm glad I finished strong and didn't falter towards the end. Really happy with that. My heart rate was up. My heart rate was really up. Okay guys, I'm 48, so my max heart rate is 172. So you take the figure 220, you minus your age, and that gives a rough estimate of your maximum heart rate. So for quite a bit of that, I was in quite a big high zone. One of the things with Zwift, because I'm plugged into Zwift and Zwift is monitoring my heart rate with my Wahoo sensor, I'll get a little graph at the end showing me my zones. Okay, and I can see that I stayed quite high. Now, that does mean though I've got to pay a bit more attention to my recovery. Okay, so I've sweated an awful lot. I've got to put those minerals back inside. So maybe a nice little isotonic drink, plenty of water. Okay, I've given the muscles a right royal workover, so I'm going to want to eat some protein fairly soon. Okay, now I've actually got to commute home, so I've got another little ride home. But I've got a protein bar. I'm going to eat a protein bar and then do a gentle spin back home. And I've got dinner. I've got to make sure I stretch as well. Okay, stretch all your major muscle groups. And again, if you don't know any bike related stretches, then pop over to YouTube. There's bound to be some videos there for you to be enlightened by. And don't forget to stretch the IT band. Very important, that muscle that runs down the outside of the leg. Okay, one of the worst muscles to stretch and need. Very tender muscle, but very important to keep everything nice and straight. Right. Okay, so I think I'll wait to 5 minutes to go, and then I'm going to say a few things to our Facebook viewers, because I doubt they're going to sit there and watch the entire session, but I'm hoping that they'll skip to 5 minutes to go in the warm down, and I can say a few words to them, which is all very complicated. So tonight, after this, I've got to save the video, download it to my phone, go home, edit it, upload it to my laptop, then do a Facebook Live 8 o'clock stream, and also upload it to the YouTube channel. Blimey. I'm bound to get something wrong. Okay. So, hello Facebookers. I'm hoping that you read my notice and skipped to the last 5 minutes of the video, or 5 minutes of the session. That's it, we've done our training session. I'll be very surprised if any of you sat there and watched the whole thing. It's very boring, but very exhilarating. I did a tough session, quite a tough session, so much so I didn't do a lot of speaking in that one, because I was busy really having to concentrate on my own cadence and my own training. Because say I'm doing the training with you guys, okay? I'm actually in here and I've recorded this session, and I'm working hard. So I give lots of little bits of advice. I let you know how I'm feeling. So if you're feeling tired and I'm feeling tired, then there's kind of mutual respect. And if I'm saying that something's starting to kind of a little bit ache, maybe you're aching. And if I'm aching, you're aching, then you're not too worried, okay? But yeah, this is what it's like. You just follow my on-screen instructions, listen to my boring voice, giving you constant instructions and commands, trying to encourage you as much as possible. And that's it. You do the session, and when you finish, you can turn me off. And that's it. Now, it'd be great for you to do at least 2 of these sessions a week, okay? Obviously, fit it in between your usual riding, I hope, because whenever you can, get out there on the roads and the trails and ride your bikes outside. But when the weather's a bit rough, or you really are working a structured training session where you don't want the elements to be an influencing factor, you can train indoors, high, quality rather than quantity, and get a good session. And I say make the most of roller training. So to all you beginners out there, roller training is cheap, it's affordable, and it really does work on the basic cycling core skills, which is bike control, learning to ride on rollers. You get that fine balance, bike control, your leg speed, teaching your legs how to cycle at very fast RPMs. Core stability, you really do have to work your core to keep the bike on the rollers central, and on your pedal technique as well. You really do work your core muscles when you are trying to keep to a really fluid pedal technique. And of course, pedal technique, pedal efficiency, working your feet, the pedal stroke around the clock. Again, there's lots of great articles on the internet giving you the benefits of roller training. And to all you guys and girls out there that already got a high level of fitness, rollers are so great to fine tune those little basic faults that you can get by riding on rollers. That fluid pedal technique, pedal stroke, pedal efficiency, getting the most out of each pedal stroke. And rollers really do open that door. Right, we've got about just under 2 minutes to go of our warm down. My heart is slowly reducing. So if you're on Facebook, thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to stop the video now, go and do what you're doing. But yeah, please join our Facebook group, Riders Rollers. In the comments below will be a link to our YouTube channel where you can see our pre-recorded videos. And hopefully fairly soon, with lockdown coming to maybe coming to an end, we can have some guests in, maybe people in the industry, a physio, somebody that could maybe have a little bit of a chin wag, that can do a session with us and maybe teach you a few things about riding on rollers or nutrition or cycle related exercises, stretches. That's very important. So I look forward to having some guests on. And of course, looking forward to when the numbers grow, is starting some live streams where you can join us one evening for a live roller training session. There we go. Okay, if you've got any questions, please leave a comment below. I'll try and answer them for you. Or if not, if somebody else reads them and they know the answer, please start up a conversation. Right. 30 seconds to go, and we're done. So as I said, guys, it's been a hard one, so don't forget to rehydrate, get some food inside you, and make sure you do some stretching this at some point, okay? Get those muscles stretched out. There we go, everybody. Well done. That was a really good session. Love that. Worked really hard. And I hope you worked hard and feel good about yourself. So, that's Stewie signing off until next time. See you later, guys.